What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So the Charlotte Hornets and the Phoenix Suns have made a trade. Nick Richards is headed to the Phoenix Suns. They need a new starting center, while the Hornets net or pretty much gain 2 second-round picks out of the trade because they traded one back in return. So profit of 2 second-round picks and Josh Okogie. So let's go ahead, jump in, and talk about the Charlotte Hornets and the state of where they're at and rebuild the Hornets after they have traded away Nick Richards. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. So recap the trade, obviously. Nick Richards in a second, I believe, was traded to the Suns for Josh Okogie in 3 seconds. So like I said, the Hornets pretty much profited 2 second-round picks out of the trade. Nick Richards goes to the Suns. They needed a starting center. They seem to be done with Nurkic. Mason Plumlee isn't the answer either. So Nick Richards is someone they're hoping they can get something out of. He's on a very cheap contract for the next 2 years as well. So a great trade for the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion. While the Charlotte Hornets are obviously not good this season at all, and they haven't been good for quite some time. They've been in the play-in tournament a couple times, but got blown out both times. LaMelo Ball has seen no postseason success whatsoever when it comes to this franchise. So to me, and they're not talking about it yet. Maybe there's some rumors out there, but I haven't really heard it too much. But the clock is ticking, man. It's time to have some success here in Charlotte. So it's time to make things happen, in my opinion. So this season needs to be the last one where we tank. We need to be a good team next year. So whatever we need to trade the deadline to make sure that happens, clear out whatever cap space, clear out whatever. We need to make sure we are a good team next year at the end of the day. So that is what I plan on doing. We're going to rebuild the Hornets after the Nick Richards trade, but we are going to make sure this team is as competitive as can be. LaMelo Ball deserves to be in the postseason. Don't get me wrong. He's been hurt in the past, so it hasn't helped, but still, he'll be healthy here, and we need to get him to the playoffs. So at the end of season number 1, mission is accomplished. We tank the season away, and we'll have a lottery pick, but as I said, the aggressiveness is going to go up this offseason. I want to be a team that's in the playoffs and get LaMelo finally in the postseason. So I thought about making some moves at the deadline, but I decided against it. Didn't really see anything that I liked. So LaMelo Ball does make an All-NBA third team, though. So that's really good to see, despite obviously the stats not being, or sorry, our record not being the best. His stats look good, but our record isn't the best. So not in the play-in, obviously. We're one of the worst teams in the league, clearly. So we finish up at 22-62, which is more than 82 games. So that's a little bizarre. Is it because of the in-season tournament? I don't know if I've ever seen that before. That's interesting, but whatever. Let's still go ahead and celebrate the playoffs, and let's see what we got going on. So who wins the championship? It's going to be Knicks and Spurs. Wemby in his sophomore season gets to the finals. Will we get the championship? No. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks will. So mission accomplished for them. They ended up beating the Celtics as well on their way to it. So shout out to the Knicks for that. Here is all of your retirements. But as usual, the draft lottery process, it's always very important. So we're projected the 2nd overall pick. So hopefully we can get lucky here and stay in the top 3. So the Hawks are going to be rewarded the Lakers pick. We're not going to watch this whole thing. Let's just skip to the results and see if we stay in the top 3 at least. And we get number 1 overall. So we have the number 1 overall pick, which is clearly going to help a ton. So Cooper Flag will clearly be the pick for this team. And now we have ourselves a really nice foundation going forward. Charles Lee is not going to be fired just yet. They just hired him, so I'm going to keep him around. Let's head to draft night. We already know who we're drafting. We won't even really have to think about this at all. We'll have ourselves a pretty nice rotation going into next season. So Cooper Flag will immediately be inserted at the starting small forward spot with no hesitation. So welcome Charlotte, Cooper Flag. He's been really good in college, I've seen, obviously. And then early pick, we can take like Kwame Evans here. So that feels pretty good to have gotten Cooper Flag in this draft to start things off in this rebuild. That helps out a ton. And it should help us on our quest to get LaMelo in the postseason. So I'm going to accept. Can I two-way this last one? No. He's a very late 2nd round pick. I'll accept it anyway. Player options. We will go ahead and decline Mitchich. Don't see him for a role going forward. And Daquan Jefferson we can decline as well. Mark Williams, Brandon Miller will clearly be re-signed. And Nick Smith is going to be accepted as well because he can develop really nicely in 2K. Diabate, Trey Mann, and KJ Simpson are all free agents. Definitely have interest in bringing them back. For free agency, I think the one position we clearly need to upgrade, considered we got rid of our backup 5, will be the backup center, as I kind of already hinted at it. But we got our starting small forward now with Cooper Flag. We have Brandon Miller at the 2 guard, so we'll leave that the way it is. LaMelo is our point guard. Trey Mann is sitting out there, so probably just re-sign him. We have a little bit of a log jam at the small forward spot, but we might be able to use this money towards a better center. So then Grant Williams' money could also be used if needed too. So backup 5 to me is my main target, but I will go ahead and re-sign Trey Mann as well. So we'll give him a nice little deal, and we can get him under contract. And then I guess we need, well, Nick Smith could be the backup too, so we probably won't do too much there. But backup center is really where I want to strike. So let's make sure we get Trey Mann under contract. And we have Jalen Duren just sitting here, but we don't have enough money for anything like that. We have to trade for our backup 5. There's really not a good one to sign in free agency currently. So let's go explore the market and see what backup 5s could be available for us, because we really need to gain one here. I think I'm going to have my eye on Robert Williams, who is an expiring free agent for the Blazers. So let's see if we can get Robert Williams off the Portland Trail Blazers. So we're going to offer probably an expiring Cody Martin and then maybe an expiring Okogie as well. So Cody Martin and Josh Okogie, 2 guys that could help the Blazers rotation as far as maybe being competitive next year. And then we could throw a couple seconds in here as well for Robert Williams. That should be good enough, I would believe, and it is. So we get our backup 5 in Robert Williams. There is health concerns with him, but now you have the Williams at the center rotation, which I feel good about. Tijon Salon's going to play a massive role at the backup 4 spot. Grant Williams will be healthy too, so probably going to play quite a bit. Josh Green. But to me, we kind of have a full rotation. Now, did we do enough to get this team in the playoffs? Cooper Flagg in itself is going to help out. Don't get me wrong. But I do feel like there's one more trade that should be made in order to put ourselves in the main position to be in the playoffs. Although we could just sign someone as well. Like, we could sign like an Isaiah Joe off the bench. We could sign Lonzo Ball, which I actually don't hate. Lonzo Ball could be, with his brother. Let's do it. Let's sign Lonzo Ball to a contract. And relying on him at this stage of his career is probably not the best option, but I like, putting him with his brother. I can feel good about that. So LeVar Ball sees his sons together in Charlotte. Ton of fun. So Lonzo Ball and I guess Trey Mann will kind of fight for the backup guard minutes. Nick Smith maybe will take a step down just for a little bit. It'll be LaMelo Ball's role there. So we can go ahead and move Trey Mann or LaMelo Ball to 2. Either one doesn't really matter. So Trey Mann can go up to shooting guard or whatever. So we'll do that. LaMelo Ball will be the backup point guard. And then Salon went up. Nick Smith is up, but he will eventually play. Grant Williams is about to be healthy too. So I'm feeling good. Lonzo Ball and, Robert Williams and Cooper Flagg as 3 additions this offseason. Not too shabby. We do have to cut 2 players away, unfortunately. So going to have to be KJ Lewis and not KJ Simpson, but probably Brandon Garrison. So apologies, my friends, but you got to go. Let's look at the rotation, though, going into this season. So Power Ranking already has us at 11th overall, which feels good because, like I said, I want to see this team in the postseason this year. I feel like we've done enough, but maybe 2K disagrees. I guess we'll find out. So LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Cooper Flagg, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams is our starting 5. It's intriguing and it's fun. Trey Mann, Rob Williams, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Green as your rotation. So it does leave guys like Salon, Grant Williams, and Nick Smith complete out of the rotation. But if we run a 10-man rotation, which we definitely can do, we'll shrink bench utilization down just a tad bit. That'll give Salon some minutes, or that'll give Grant Williams some minutes. I'd rather give Salon those minutes, not going to lie to you. So we'll do that. And if there's any trade to be made at the deadline, of course, I'll show you guys. But the main thing I want to succeed in this year is getting into the playoffs. I don't even want to see a play-in berth. I want to see a playoff berth. I want to avoid the play-in altogether. I want to be in the postseason. But so far, we're not off to a great start. So we'll see. We're around 500 right now, but hopefully, even if there's a move to be made at the deadline, maybe. But like I said, my ultimate goal here is get LaMelo in the playoffs finally. So Luka Doncic wins MVP. Cooper Flagg is your Rookie of the Year, so he did contribute right away, which is great. Thought about making a move at the deadline, but just like last year, I decided against it. Didn't see anything that I wanted to do at the moment. But here's your all-NBA first team. It'd be cool to see LaMelo on here again, but I'm assuming scoring might have been spread around with Cooper Flagg, so did not make it this year. But we did get Cooper Flagg on all-rookie first team, clearly, which makes sense. Obviously, he's Rookie of the Year. Now, mission was almost accomplished. We did go over 500, which is a great sign. Went 42-40, which is better than usual, and we were almost just a straight-up playoff team, but we're in the play-in again. Now, like I said, the last 2 times the Hornets have been in the play-in, they were blown out both times, but this year, that's got to change. So 22.5 from LaMelo, 16 from Brandon Miller, 15.5 from Flagg, and then 14 from Miles Bridges, 13 from Trey Mann, and 10 from Mark Williams, and 8 from Lonzo Ball, and 4 assists off the bench. So let's shrink down to an 9 rotation for the postseason, and let's see if we can get in there. So we get Indiana in round 1, which, if I remember correctly, and I could be totally wrong on this, but wasn't it the Pacers and the Hornets like years ago in the play-in, and the Pacers blew the doors off of them? But I could be wrong, and we finally get in the playoffs. So we finally got LaMelo in the playoffs. We will be facing the Boston Celtics. So obviously not fun to do that, but still I'm happy to be here for the first time in quite some time. So I don't know if we'll be able to beat the Celtics. More than likely that will not be the case, but hopefully we can give them at least a series. So we lose game 1 by 4. Game 2 down 2-0. We do win game 3 though, and we will game. Okay, hold on, hold the phone. We won 2 straight. Let's get a game 5 victory. That would be pretty damn cool if we could somehow make the Celtics sweat a little bit, which we already have by evening the series, but we're not going to get even close to winning game 5. That was LaMelo being our leading scorer there. So we need to meet, we needed a lot better of a performance here in game 6. I don't think we're getting it either. Well, we got, oh, wait a minute. Might take the lead here. Might force a game 7. Oh my gosh, that was close, but we did. We forced a game 7. And now the Boston Celtics have to, go to a game 7 against the 7th seed. So, yeah, this would hurt their legacy if we found a way to pull this off, but don't know if we'll be able to. But there's already a really good sign of things to come. We're right on their ankles, though. I don't think we'll get it done, though. Man, we made the Boston Celtics sweat a little bit. So that gives me a lot of, optimistic hope, though, going forward that eventually this team is going to turn into what we want. So, Minnesota and New York and the Timberwolves go on to win it all. Anthony Edwards is their finals MVP. So, Chris Paul is going to retire on the Houston Rockets of all teams, and then Brook Lopez retires a Piston. So, the lottery process, we don't get our pick this offseason because we made the playoffs. The Knicks via Washington, which that should go back to the Wizards, and then the Thunder via Utah. I'm pretty sure that's the same thing where the Utah Jazz is supposed to have that pick back. So, might fix that a little bit. Our pick is going to the Spurs. So, I'm going to fix the top 2 draft picks, and then we'll look to see if there's anything else we want to do. I'm not going to fire Charles Lee because we just almost won a 2nd seed, 7 seed matchup, but man, that would have been awesome if we were able to pull that off. So unfortunately, no draft capital at all to speak of in this draft, so let's just go straight to player options. So we're going to have Brandon Miller, Salon, Nick Smith, and Kwame Evans, which we'll accept all 4 of those. Qualifying offers, Diabate, KJ Simpson, and Mark Williams are all free agents. Mark Williams is clearly the most important one if we want to bring him back. Robert Williams too. I mean, he was our backup 5, so bringing him back could be important as well, but we'll see. Mark Williams will be re-signed. Now, the question I have this offseason is if I trade Miles Bridges, because he's solid, but he's an expiring contract right now, and I feel like we could maybe trade him for an upgrade somewhere. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. We can always play Cooper Flag at the power forward spot, get a 3. Like, I'm looking for an upgrade at that forward spot, basically. But I also don't want someone who's going to score too much because maybe we have plenty of scoring with Flag, LaMelo, and Brandon Miller as is. So I got to find like the perfect forward to potentially. I mean, we could also look for a backup too, but I think at the end of the day, because Salon could step up in the starting 5 as well. Maybe he's developed enough. 6'8", maybe they play that small forward spot and be kind of the prototype we're looking for to start there. I mean, his ace 3-point shot still needs some work, but hey, he did shoot 32% this year after 27% the first year. Perimeter defense is a B+, so that's positive. We're going to look at the options for Miles Bridges because I do think trading him could be in our best interest if we're able to bring in the right piece in return, that is. I actually have the perfect player that I want to go for Miles Bridges. I didn't realize this man has developed that much, but DeAndre Hunter has become my target. 12.5 points per game on 41% from 3. 6'8", could be our starting small forward next year. I love the idea of it. So Miles Bridges for DeAndre Hunter straight up, they're not going to do just in a straight up swap. So we're going to have to include more value in it, which is fine. They could take Josh Green's contract on as well. And then I'll trade you the live protected heat pick. So this for DeAndre Hunter, I really like the idea of this. Gives us, maybe we don't even need to do the first. Let's see. Okay, so we do probably need another piece in this trade. So not a first gets it done. I'm not trading 2 firsts. I think it's a little wild, but I'll do 2 seconds on top. And boom, we get DeAndre Hunter. So we finally find what we're looking for. I think DeAndre Hunter, I didn't realize he was an 85 overall now. So shout out to DeAndre Hunter for that. But we'll bring back Mark Williams and Robert Williams, and I think I'm going to feel pretty good about next season as far as being in the postseason. So Robert Williams will be signed to a deal, and Robert Williams at our backup 5 will be signed as well as long as him. So bring back the Williams, and we'll bring back Diabate as like depth as well. So let's do that. So boom, I'm feeling good about where we're at. That looks good. So let's go to player progression, see how much guys develop, and this should be a playoff team again. No play-in this time. 88 Brandon Miller, 86 Cooper Flag, 85 Hunter, 84 Mark Williams, 83 Trey Mann, and then 80 Tijon Salon, and 80 from Lonzo. Nick Smith still is not as good as Lonzo Ball, so Lonzo Ball will still get the backup point guard nod, but this team looks pretty solid going into year number 2. I have a lot of optimistic hope about this team. I mean, I wouldn't say championship just yet, but we're close, man. We're definitely pretty close. So yeah, here's your rotation for year number 2. LaMelo Ball, or I guess this is what, year 3 now? So yeah, year 3. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, DeAndre Hunter, Cooper Flag, Mark Williams, Trey Mann, Rob Williams, Lonzo Ball, and Tijon Salon. So one thing I also want to see is if I was about to say, is DeAndre Hunter ready for an extension? But he says no. I guess we need to see how he plays for us. But I have, like I said, I'm very happy to have gotten him. We needed a 3-and-D wing, and I think we got a really good one with DeAndre Hunter at 85 overall. That will be my new favorite target from now on. 4-star proficiency under Charles Lee. We better be a locked and loaded playoff team as we start 0-4 on the season, which isn't a good start, and we're 1-7 now. So, wow, off to a brutal start according to 2K. I mean, if this team doesn't succeed, Charles Lee's got to go, and that'll be the first thing we do this offseason if this team doesn't turn things around. So Charles Lee, after this season, unless we go on some miraculous run, will be fired this offseason because, to me, this team had no excuse to be under 500. So here are your awards, by the way. But yeah, I am very disappointed with the result that we just got. So don't know how, but I thought this team was ready to be like a top 3 seed in the East. But we went at 38-44, under 500. So Charles Lee, your days are numbered, especially if we don't get into the playoffs. So we are going to have to win 2 straight in order to do that. So let's just go ahead and get started. So you want to give less minutes to Lonzo Ball. We'll go to we're already at a 9-man rotation. So we're 9-man rotation, and let's see if we can beat the Miami Heat. And we do. Okay, so that's 1 win, but now we got to win the next one. We head to Orlando, and we'll see if we can get in on this. And we do have lead right now, but they take it back for a second. We hang on, and we are going to the playoffs. So playoffs are here, and we did make it. We get to play Detroit, so that'll be interesting. LaMelo versus Cooper Flag would be cinema, I think. That'd be a very fun series. So we'll see how this ends up, but Detroit does have Cade, Ivy, Asar, Ron Holland, Capella, Sasser, Quentin Grimes, and Stewart. So it's a solid team in Detroit. It's kind of funny that Grimes signed back with the Pistons after he was traded there from there. But someone to current round against Detroit, it wouldn't shock me if we were able to upset them, but the regular season, man, we were not good, and we got swept. So yeah, Charles Lee, you're gone. I'm sorry, but you're gone. As you're so gone. It's not even funny. Now Detroit literally swept also the Cavs, and they won the championship. So whatever. We lost to the team that won the championship, but I don't care. He is good as gone. So let's go to the lottery, and let's see where things are going to end up here. So we don't have a pick from anybody here, it looks like. So we got Bulls getting number 1, Nets via Philly, and Jazz via LA. We do have the Dallas Mavericks pick at number 18, and then we have our pick at 15 as well. So 2 lottery, or not really 2 lottery picks, but Charles Lee, 1 lottery pick and 1 outside of the lottery. So there is some good options here. So Tyronn Lue, who I always had success with, so I'm going to offer him a contract. We're going to offer Nick Nurse a contract as well. And then what else can we? Doc Rivers, no thank you. Tom Thibodeau is here. Mike Malone is here. Willie Green's here. Chris Finch. So hopefully we can get one of these guys. I'll offer Michael Malone as well. So we might get Tyronn Lue, hopefully. No, we're not going to get Tyronn Lue. Damn. Okay, so we missed out on pretty much everybody that we wanted. Let's see who's left available. So we got Charles Lee, who I'm not going for. Will Hardy's the one coach still available. So I guess that's going to have to be the guy we go after. And he will sign. So Will Hardy's the brand new head coach of Charlotte. Charles Lee is gone. So to draft night we go. And we have 15 and 18. So we'll probably just draft through these picks. So let's see what we got going on here. So number 15, we have Sadiq White, who we'll take here to start things off at a Syracuse. Diop goes and Crow goes. And we have Dylan Mingo, who will go ahead and take as well at a Duke. So one thing we did do, which I'll show you in just a second, but at 15 and 18, walk away with a 75 and a 75. So not bad. Those guys are going to be massive contributors going forward. Flag and Salon will be accepted. Brandon Miller, KJ Simpson are free agents. Brandon Miller obviously needs to be re-signed. But the one thing I did already went ahead and did is I re-signed Nick Smith, so he's locked up. Although he hasn't played at all, he got a big contract for not even playing, which is kind of interesting. But we know how much this guy is about to develop, so I'm not too discouraged by it. But we are probably going to let Lonzo Ball go. I don't even think we have his bird rights. We don't. But DeAndre Hunter and Brandon Miller need to be re-signed. So I wanted to extend DeAndre Hunter as soon as possible. I couldn't, but he will be extended now. We'll let probably the other 2 guys just walk, though. So we announce everybody else here, but Brandon Miller and DeAndre Hunter will be brought back. And we'll see what kind of the rotation's looking like now. So I have a little bit of money left to spend on somebody, but we have LaMelo and Mingo now. We could probably move Trey Mann back to point guard low-key, so we'll do that right now. So Trey Mann will go back to point guard. You'll have Trey Mann, Nick Smith. You'll have DeAndre Hunter, Flag, and then Tijon Salon and Sadiq White. So maybe Sadiq White's going to be play right away next year. I don't know what he's better at, but small forward, he goes up. And then what about Salon? Salon goes up at small forward too. So move Salon to small forward, and we're basically just banking that a brand new head coach will be better. Didn't get the head coach I preferred. Clearly, with I wanted Nurse, or I wanted Tyronn Lue, but didn't get any of them. Now, Cooper Flag is up to a 92, 89 Brandon Miller, 85 Mark Williams, 84 Trey Mann, 82 Salon, and 82 Nick Smith. So the rotation looks good. We need to be in the playoffs, locked and loaded, no playing. We're done with the playing days, man. It's got to be over. So hopefully this season results in what I'm looking for, and we finally are a contender, because I think this team at this point is a contender, in my opinion. Maybe deadline, there needs to be another move, but we'll cross that bridge if we feel like there's a move necessary to upgrade the roster further. So at the end of this season, we got the record we are absolutely looking for, as we made the playoffs. Not only did we make the playoffs, but Cooper Flag makes an All-NBA first team, so that is great to see. 21 and 11 from him, so pretty solid stuff there. I don't know if we'll have LaMelo here too. We don't, but we do have Cooper Flag all defensive first team, which is awesome. All defensive second team, all rookie first team, and all rookie second team. So we are the first seed in the Eastern Conference, which, like I said, feels really good to be in that. But 22 from LaMelo, 21 from Flag, 17 from Miller, 13 from Trey Mann, 12 from Mark Williams, and 12 from Nick Smith, and 10 from Salon, and 10 from DeAndre Hunter. So who do we draw round one? It will be Boston, which, interesting enough, we all know we took this team to 7 a couple years ago, but we're not looking for them to return the favor. We want to just beat them straight up, no sweat, as we will be up 3-2. Can we beat them in 6? Yes, we can. Okay, so we're moving on and win our first playoff series in I don't know how long. I don't know the last time the Hornets won a playoff series, but we finally got it done. Now we get to play the Pacers. We have Will Riley, Halliburton, Mathurin, Siakam, Miles Turner. So here goes nothing. Game 1, 1-0 start. Beat them pretty good there. 2-0 so far. 3-0. And this one's looking good thus far. And we're on to the conference finals. Give me Detroit. I want Detroit. So will it be Detroit? It looks like it's going to be. Uh-oh. We got a game 7 on our hands. Philadelphia or Detroit. Let's simcast a computer game. Actually, you know what? Give me Philadelphia. They're probably going to be easier. But Detroit takes the lead. Philadelphia takes it back. And Philly is going to beat Detroit, who won the championship last year. I wonder what Philadelphia has nowadays. So it's Maxi McCain, Williams, Koa Pete, Joel Embiid, Podziemski, Tristan Da Silva, and Isaiah Harwell. Honestly, I feel pretty confident that, yeah, I think playing Philadelphia is going to be a little bit better than playing Detroit, because Embiid has regressed to a point where he's averaging 17 now. I mean, we do have McCain and, Maxi doing their thing, obviously, but I feel pretty good. I don't know. I feel like we have a shot. It's a 7 seed in the East against, we're the first seed. Let's not choke this away. We're up 1-0. This is a great opportunity. 2-0, 2-1. Do not let them even the series. 3-1. And can we beat them in 5? Yes, we can. We're back finally to the finals. The last 3 videos, if I'm not mistaken, man, championship-wise, have been absolutely rough. So here is our chance to finally get one. Now, we do draw the Pelicans, who, have Ace Bailey, Missy, Zion, Ingram, Murray, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy off the bench. So it's not going to be an easy series by any means, but I feel like we have the ability to win. So let's make it happen. 1-0 start for us. Great. Nice. Keep it up. 2-0. Yep. Go up 3-0. Come on. Don't let him even it up. 3-0 start. As long as we don't blow a 3-0 lead, we have won a championship, and we did. And that will be a beautiful way to end this video. So LaMelo Ball, Finals MVP, averaging 37 points per game. Where has that been all season? We needed that all freaking season. But you know what? All that matters, or I guess all video rather, but all that matters, he averaged 20. He stepped up big time, went from 21 to 28 in the playoffs. Cooper Flag went from 21 to 24. So love what I've seen there, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys have a great weekend. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.